Hi, good morning everybody. Crafting Journey here, that Journey Chick on Instagram, and the leftovers on my second YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, the link is down in the description. That is where I do reselling. That's my business on the side. And I search yard sales, Goodwills, and thrift stores, and take undervalued items and sell them for a profit on eBay. Not a lot of profit, but I'm selling them. Anyway, I have to tell you, it's been quite a morning. So please don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy the contents of the channel. This is a channel where I cover live trials, crafting and crime, daily. Yep. We're covering, currently we're covering the Brooks trial. I've got it, I'm looking at it out of the corner of my eye. I have it muted, but this guy is a piece of work. Oh my God. Actually, let me fast forward. How do I mute this? Wait a minute. I want to put it on. He's arguing with her. He's been arguing with her all morning. I'm trying to figure out, is he going to testify? Is he not going to testify? He's like not answering her question. Yeah, see, he's not answering. So if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you're enjoying this and you're already subscribed, please consider sharing it with someone else who might enjoy listening to this while they craft. I finished the cat, the wizard cat. I'll show you a picture here. I've hung it out in the dining room. It was super fun to do. I love that painting. It was a partial, which is why it went so quickly. One of the reasons it went so quickly, there was no confetti. It was all color blocking, but I replaced a lot of it with glow in the dark and ABs, and it just, I think it turned out amazing. So there's the picture. And I brought back out the dog, the black lab. I'm still probably a little more than halfway done with the black lab. But we're going to keep plugging away because this is an amazing, amazing painting. It is by, I can't tell you who it's by because my cat is sitting here sleeping in his bed. And he's on top of the information. He just loves his little bed. I don't know if you guys can see him. Yeah, he's right here. As soon as I come sit down now, he comes in here and sits in his bed. It's like he's just been waiting his whole life for this bed. So cute. So let's get on to the trials. First, I do have a verdict watch up, a thumbnail up for, I think I set it for 4:30 this afternoon. If we ever get there, if she can ever get through asking him whether he's going to testify or not in the Brooks case. This is the Waukesha Christmas Parade. He drove his SUV through the Christmas parade. He put on all of his witnesses. There was one more person on his witness list, and that was his mother. He has not said, you know, the judges asked him this morning, are you putting your mom on to testify? He won't answer her. Is she here? Is she ready? Are you putting her on? He won't answer. Then she went into the you know, the questions. I don't know how you say that, colloquy that you have to go through with a defendant about his right to testify, his right not to testify. The jury can't hold it against him if he doesn't testify. The whole thing. Are you aware? Do you blah 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 blah. He won't answer any of those questions. He was so disruptive that he interrupted her like 27 times. He came in the courtroom this morning with, he said, information that his mother just gave him about how the vehicle he was driving had a recall on it where the gas would accelerate and you would not be able to stop the car. And the judge said, well, it's too late for that. I mean, you should, if you've had this information. He goes, I didn't have this information. My mom just gave it to me. Well, you had the right to cross-examine the mechanic that examined your vehicle, and this never came up. And I'm sure this is something he would have researched, and you could have asked him about that. Anyway. So then he asked for the proceedings to be stayed pending, you know, more information about this recall. She denied that. He asked for, he wanted a legal reason for her denial. Then he just kept going on and on and on this morning. Oh my God. He just wouldn't stop. He wanted an interlocutory appeal, which she said, that's not something I can even address. An interlocutory appeal is when in the middle of a proceedings, something happens and you want to appeal immediately to the appellate court. So you file an interlocutory appeal. I've done this once, and the appellate court will rule on it, yes or no. What they'll rule is, yes, they're going to hear the appeal, or no, they're not. If they say they're going to hear the appeal, it stays the proceedings. If they say they're not going to hear the appeal, then you just move on. And when the one time that I filed it, I think they said, no, we're not going to hear it. And so we moved on. But, you know, it's something that you try in certain situations. So, but, you know, he needs to file that with the appellate court, not the judge. And that's what she was trying to tell him. You know, I'm not the person you file an interlocutory appeal with. So at this point, he's sitting in the other courtroom, claims that he can't, if she's got him muted, he can't hear her. And she said, well, that's not true. You know, the deputy has gone back and forth in both courtrooms. The volume is, I'm told that the volume is 3 times as loud in the courtroom you're in than it is in this courtroom, and that everyone can hear me, even when I've got you muted. Because she'll be asking him questions and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden he'll go, oh, am I unmuted? And it's all just seems like a way to delay the proceedings, just to derail the proceedings. And what it is, the effect is that it's just pissing this judge off. I mean, she's already, poor thing, she's like beside herself. Like, enough already. She's trying to be patient. She's trying to do, you know, make the record. The fact that she was counting, that he interrupted just this morning. And I will tell you right now, it's only 9:30. 27 times before he was removed from the courtroom. And he's been removed from the courtroom for probably about 15, 20 minutes, I would say. Crazy. So I did put up a verdict watch, because I don't think there's going to be any testimony I don't think Darrell Brooks is going to take the stand. I don't think he's bringing his mother in the courtroom. I think the defense is going to have to rest, or she's going to have to rest on his behalf. And they're just going to have to, I don't think the state has any rebuttal. And I anticipate that this will go to a jury today. And I have put up a thumbnail for 4:30, but if there is a verdict, I will go ahead and go live whenever that happens. And if they still are deliberating after 4:30, I'll just move the time to a later time. So just ignore that time, that 4:30 time. It's just whenever there's a verdict in this case. I was tempted just to go live this morning so you guys could see all these antics, but I have to run to the post office. So hopefully by the time I'm done with the post office, you know, this rant that he's on this morning will have worked itself out. It's crazy. Now, in the other case that's going on, George Wagner, we have been waiting weeks, a month now, for the testimony of Jake and Angela. So my understanding is Jake has arrived at the courthouse this morning to testify, but has opted out. So what that means is the judge has given all of the witnesses the option of not being heard by or recorded or videotaped by the media. And I did not think that was an option for these inmates, but apparently it is, and he has opted out. So we will not be able to watch or see or hear the testimony of Jake Wagner, which was going to be like the most interesting part of this whole case. Hopefully, I expect Angela will probably do the same. So it's been a very boring case because certain witnesses opt out. And now this is the case. George Wagner IV is on trial for the murder of 8 members of the Rodin family, that he and the Wagner family plotted to kill these people, allegedly. And his brother Jake, his mother Angela, have already pled guilty. They're serving their sentences. Jake is serving 8 life sentences. And I expect his testimony this morning will say that I murdered 5 of these people. My brother murdered none of these people. Which is what he's kind of been saying all along, that he was present. He was at the murder scenes. And he'll say the reason that he was there. Apparently, I think the reason he's going to state is that to prevent any discourse between Jake and the father, that George could step in. George is the older brother, but that he did not murder any of these people. Well, the mere fact that he was there and that he was helping out, and I mean, he's still going to be guilty of the murders, even if he didn't actually pull the trigger. So that's what we think we're going to hear from Jake Wagner this morning, or not hear. Somebody's going to hear it and tell us about it tomorrow in the news. Yeah. Interesting, huh? So on Friday, there was a witness, and I told you I had listened to like the very first part of her testimony. I was trying to figure out who she was. Her name was Beth Ann Armour. She had lived in Alaska. She had moved up to Alaska after she was raised as a Mennonite. They only go through the 8th grade. Well, she wanted to continue her education, so she goes up to Alaska to this school where she could continue her education. And she meets Jake Wagner. They fall in love. They date for a while, and then that's in 2017. In early 2018, Jake tells her, my family's moving back to, I don't know what state they're in. Anyway, my family's moving back home. Let's get married. So they get married. And she moves back with them. And she testified that, very similar to George's ex-wife, that she was scared to death of this family. That Jake refused to get their own place. She said they looked at homes and he didn't like any of them. So they moved in with her mom, Angela. Her mom had, the entire time they were married, she was not allowed to see her family. At one point, Angela accused her of inappropriately touching Sophia, which was Jake's daughter from Hannah Mae Rodin's, that relationship. And so then they wouldn't let her around any of the kids. So what she did, she said she was really scared that they threatened to kill her. She had her mother, I guess she communicated with her mother. She had her mother come pick her up, dropped her at the Walmart where she changed her clothes, then went out the back door where the tire area is, and her father was waiting for her. Now, I don't know why she went through all this, but she gets into the car with her father. He drives her to a friend's house who drives her to the next state. And this is how she gets away from Jake Wagner's. And they divorced shortly after that. But she was asked by the defense counsel on cross-examination, why did she refuse to speak with them? And she said, because I'm scared to death of this Wagner family. I don't want anything to do with them. And she's a beautiful woman, beautiful girl. How tragic. So, I mean, this family was really manipulating and calculating, and she said she was abused. She didn't have any say in the decision making in the household. They would get mad at her for like little things. They would accuse her of things that she hadn't done, and she said she just couldn't take it anymore. So that's how she got away. Interesting. So I believe she is not living in Alaska anymore. I don't know where she's living. She said, but I didn't write it down. Sorry. So, oh my God, let me tell you about this morning. I called the unemployment people because it's been 3 weeks and my case is still under review. And here's what they told me. That there are a number of cases under review, and when they get to mine in the stack, that's the word she used, stack. When they get to mine in the stack, it'll be reviewed and someone will call me. Now, the operator today, she was very sweet. She went through all 3 weeks and let me file a claim for each week so that that would be on file when my application is approved. And she said to continue to call every week and make the claim until the review goes through. God knows how long that'd be. And I'm trying to tell her, listen, I'm unemployed. I have no income coming in. I mean, I'm trying to get this business off the ground, but it's not paying bills. Of course, I'm just not there yet. I don't even want to talk about it. Oh my God, the anxiety. I'm going to the post office today, mail a couple more packages, file the claim that I need to. I mean, I'm going to move forward with it. I'm still plugging away at this business. I'm not going to give up. I won't. I can't. I have no alternative. But it would be nice if I could get some assistance from the government. We pay all these taxes, and then when you need help, they're like, where it's under review. So, and I said, well, surely there's a number you can put me through. There's a phone number for these. I said, well, who is it under? Who's reviewing it? What's the name of the department that's reviewing it? She says, they don't tell us. It doesn't say here what the department is. It just says under review. I said, well, maybe, can I talk to your supervisor? Maybe they know she's like, well, I can put in a request for a supervisor to call you back, but they're not going to call you back unless something I said is inaccurate. And I didn't think she was being inaccurate. I just think she's telling it like it is. They'll get to you when they get to you. So I didn't put a request in for the supervisor. I will continue to I'll just continue. I don't know what else to do. Yeah, how are we on time? Oh, short show today. There's no animals today because they all refuse to go outside because it's raining. And Tootsie takes one look at, I put the leash on her. I think I'll go out in the rain with them. I take them to the front yard, and the other dog, Duncan, he pees, he's fine. And I'm trying to get her to, just at least pee. And she just stands there and she will not move. Not move. She will not go any further. The only direction she'll go is back in the house. So we went back in the house. Even Stitch, like, he ran under the car. He saw that it was raining. He ran back to the front door. He's like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. So these animals, yeah, it's very dark outside. So there's a front moving in, which now hopefully that'll bring cooler weather again, because we had a few days back in the 80s. The weekend was lovely in the 80s, but I had to run the air conditioner, Oh my God, did you guys see the finale of House of Dragons? I'm not going to give anything away, but I'm going to go, the end was stunning. Like, I was like, what just happened? What? Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. All right, guys. Have a good day. If I get to the point where there's a verdict, I'll go live. If not, I'll see you tomorrow in Crafting and Crime Daily. Guys, have a wonderful Monday. I love you all. Take care. Bye.